Okay, guys, welcome to day 3 of boot camp. Today, we are going to be going over our agent sites and our consumer app. So the app that we can put in the hands of our consumer to search for homes and interact with us via the app. So I always like to start today's class by explaining the purpose and intention behind this website and app. A lot of people have the inclination that this is going to be like a site where if somebody, no shade to any other areas, I just live in Winston-Salem, where if somebody says, I am looking for a home in Winston-Salem on Google, that they want their website to show up first. These websites are not built for search engine optimization. Number one, if you complete that search anyway, you're going to get some of the big ones like something that rhymes with pillow, realtor.com, all of those are going to show up first. And then people pay thousands of dollars to get their sites as close to the top as they can. These sites are not built for that. They're just not built that way. These sites and the app are intended for you to put them in the hands of everyone that you know and everyone that you meet. It is a more one-to-one communication as opposed to a one-to-many communication. So I always like to make sure that I start off with that. These are not built for search engine optimization. If you want a site that is built for search engine optimization, you can have any third-party site you want, right? We are independent contractors. You can go to Wix, you can go to WordPress, you can pay Boomtown, you can do whatever you want, but the sites that were given to us by KW are meant for us to put in the hands of others. So the first thing that we're going to look at is, what does the website look like? So I'm going to go to my website, monicaperry.kw.com. And so for most of us, when this was set up for us by Scott Leroy Marketing, if we've recently joined in the last year or 2 years, Scott Leroy's team, and I think all 3 of my market centers use Scott Leroy, so you guys should have been set up by him. He will set up the basic pages of your website. The main functionality that people are looking for on a real estate website is what?
Access, like
a search bar.
Search.
That's right. So what do you see when you go to the front page of my website? A search bar.
A search bar.
What do you see when you go to realtor.com? A search bar.
A search bar.
Yep. Zillow.
The search bar.
Right? This is what consumers want. So this is what KW built. Okay. So I have a lot of agents, and I am an agent, so I feel very justified in saying this. We love ourselves, y'all. Well, my website doesn't, where's my picture? Where's all the stuff about me? Right? I get it.
Right.
I get it. We love ourselves. And consumers want to search for houses and ask questions if they have one. So there's nothing wrong with liking a website that is customized to you and has pictures of you and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to show you one example of somebody who has customized their website to be that way. So I'm going to go to Greta Fry. She is in my office in Winston-Salem. Okay. Greta Fry. .kw.com. I think that I did that right. I had to clear my cache and cookies the other day, so now everything is.
Oh, you have to show me how to clear the cache.
Oh, I can show you how to do that, definitely. Greta Fry and Associates. Let me see where this goes, because it's coming out on there we go. Okay. So on Greta's website, let's go ahead and get rid of these other 2. Of course, my internet's going to get crazy with me today. Why does it do this to me? Why?
It's going to do it. It's just once you get temperamental. There it goes. Is this it?
That's it. So Greta put her team photo as the background photo. Same exact website, right? This is my website. This is her website. I have a picture of downtown Winston-Salem, several of them that scroll. Greta put a picture of her team. And then because by default, when you're putting these websites together, it tells you to put your doing business as or your company's specific logo into one section, and then your team logo into this little square. But if you want your team logo to look bigger, or if your team logo happens to be like a rectangle instead of a square, you can flip it like we did for Greta right here. So I helped the lovely Leslie over here. She's a rock star admin on Greta's team. I helped her find the spot to flip that over. So not a ton of customization yet. These are still pretty much first iteration. We'll maybe call it version 1.5. These will do nothing but improve, right? So this is one example. Now, for people who are really heavy into search engine optimization, I do have a team that is super heavy into it. They want it. They pay somebody that helps them with it. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to jump to their website, teamoverbee.com. So they've had their website built for them. They've paid somebody to build this website, right? And because they wanted different stuff, they wanted, the pictures to move the way they're moving. They wanted all this data. They wanted all this stuff here. Totally fine, right? So that's how they've built their website. And still, even Team Overbee, if you click search our listings, guess where it's going to take you? You'll be so shocked. Not really. But we'll wait for the internet once again to cooperate with us while I take a sip of my iced coffee. Any day now. Come on. I'm going to be patient. I don't know.
There it goes. There it goes. It takes you back to the search engine again.
Yeah, it takes you back to their KW website for search. Okay. The reason that they did this is because when people are interacting with your website from KW, it gets tracked in command. So as long as that person has a account on your agent website or your mobile app, their search activities, what they've clicked on, what they've hidden, what they've hearted, all of that stuff shows up in their contact feed. So that's why the Overbees decided to keep the search engine in KW, but brand the rest of their website. So you have multiple ways that you can do this, right? None of them are wrong. Just like everything else I've told you all week, none of this is wrong. It's your business. It is your business to do with and build how you want to, okay? So I just wanted to touch on those few different things with you guys. All right, so let's look around our website real quick. So one thing is this drop down is where the pages show up. Okay, so this is my home screen. It's got the scrolling background pictures. They can search by clicking current location, type in address, type in a school, type in a landmark. There are all kinds of ways for them to search, or they can just click current location, which is what I've done now. They're going to see some close by listings start to populate over here on the right-hand side, right? We've got this map over here. The blue lines on this map are showing those neighborhoods that are established in the program next door, which we have an exclusive partnership with. So that's what those neighborhood boundaries are. Those do have the ability to be turned off. If you don't like having the neighborhood boundaries, a lot of people that live in and sell in more rural areas, Yadkinville, out in Davidson County, out in Brown Summit, like out in all those areas, some of them don't want the neighborhoods because the neighborhoods aren't established as much out there. So you do have the ability to turn those off, just so you guys know. And I will show you where all those backdoor things are that you can do from command. However, the super cool thing that I love on these websites is kind of the neighborhoods. It's based around the neighborhood. So if you don't have a lot of neighborhoods in your area, I'm sorry. But you can search by zip code. You see that here. You can search by landmark, So Dash Stadium. We are a basketball, baseball family. We love to go see the Winston-Salem Dash. So if I want to be really close to it, I can even search for that landmark. There it is, 951 Ballpark. I can change my map view to satellite. All right, so this is from the eyes of the consumer. Then they can start scrolling out and seeing what kind of listings are hanging out around it. They're populating over here on the right and got a little bit further. They're going to start seeing those neighborhoods pop in. And if I click on the West End, for example, over here on the right, I get West End South because that's the neighborhood I clicked on. So maybe this person really likes the West End in Winston and they want to follow this. They can click the follow button. People are used to a follow button. It's 2022. We follow people everywhere, right? TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the places. So that's why they're using this terminology. They can also click this Explore Neighborhood button. And this is a really cool feature. Personally, for me, I've been in this business since 2008. I've had lots of different websites. I really like these neighborhood pages because they are essentially 7 websites in one spot for your consumer. Your consumer would have to probably go 7 different places to get the data that's on this one page, which I think is really cool. Okay. So first up, West End South, average home price, right? What do the locals say about this neighborhood? Healthy food, hops and brews, because we have a lot of breweries around there. Late night leisure, networking opportunities, and trendy eats. It's got a walkability score. And we can keep moving down. Website 1, market snapshot, right? And sold stats. 2, nearby properties that are for sale. 3, more information on what the locals say, right? And this can be expanded. 4, transit and commute. So what if they want to know, if I live here, how long would it take me to get to my job, my brother's house, my best friend's house, right? My parents' house. That is one of the things that is going to trigger them to sign up for an account. However, we are proactive agents. We are going to make sure that the people that we put this website in the hands of have a login, right? But that is one of the things that will trigger them to create an account. So the reason I'm saying this is a really cool thing to share on social media is one of these web pages. You can just copy this. So if you have a highlighted neighborhood in your area that you really want to target, which I always recommend as an agent, is that you have some target market areas. This is one way that you can promote that on your social media platform. Check out what's happening in West End South. Check out what's happening in Ardmore. Check out what's happening in Buena Vista, right? So you can put these websites out there for people to look at. And when they're in here looking around, this is one of the spots that can trigger them to sign up for your site. So let's take a look at what that looks like. I'm going to do what I never do, and I'm going to turn my phone volume back up because I want to be able to hear my notifications. So I'm going to search for a place because I want to see how long it takes me to get there. And I'm like, oh man, I have to create an account. Okay, I can do that. So I'm going to do test fire February. So I know what it is. Like so. They're creating an account. Make a password real quick. Let me give this a real email. It might pick up that fake email. Going old school. They have to accept and they'll click sign up. Dang it. I've already used that email. Hold on, y'all. Let me think. Let me try that again. I got to think of an email that I haven't used. Aspire. And I have all of y'all's emails in my account too. So I can't use you guys. Let me think. I might have already used his too. Maybe. I have to make some more fake emails. There. Hear that notification? That was the command app on my cell phone. It just sent me a push notification. And I don't know, since my internet's being so wonky today, we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to show you guys my cell phone screen. So if you post one of these on Facebook or some other place, then the hope is no whammies, share my screen, please. If not, I'm gonna jump into the Zoom from my phone. Come on. Sometimes it says that my internet is not going fast enough for my phone to connect, which is funny since I have the highest internet that you can buy. It's always a good time when you're spending all that money. Come on. I'm gonna try one more time, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna go in through Zoom. Come on. Nope. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna come in here from Zoom, and I'll have to share that screen with you guys. It's so much nicer if I can share it the other way because I don't have to stop sharing the computer. Okay, can you guys see my phone now?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So push notification came through. Agent site notification, boom. It's just taking it a minute. There we go. So the last time I was in the command app, I was in my team side, and this is connected to my personal account. So what it's saying is that I got a new lead off of my agent website, right? And there it is. This person has logged in to my agent site. He created an account. You see where it said he registered, and he started viewing neighborhoods. In this example, he started viewing the West End South, right? So that's pretty cool. So now I know, hey, this person's now looking around on my website. So I'm going to check this out and reach out to him, right? So that is one way that you can capture leads, because I get asked that a lot. How can I capture leads from my website? But let's talk about what the true intention is behind these websites. And that is, oh, I'll finish counting these out. Schools, Yelp built right into our websites, which I personally think is super cool because I've always used Yelp to look at restaurant reviews. Nearby neighborhood, so if they like that area, but there's not something for sale in there that they want, they can look at what's nearby. They can also choose to create an account down here. But best practice, you run into your old high school friend at the grocery store, and you guys are talking, you're like, yeah, I'm in real estate, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, cool. Yeah, I rent right now, but I do want to buy a house. I'm just working on my credit. And you're like, hey, I totally understand. And I have some great lenders that work with you on credit repair hand in hand and can get you moving in the right direction. Would you like for me to connect you with one of them? And they're like, heck yeah, I want you to connect me because I want to buy a house. And you're like, cool. Well, if you want to start looking around at houses, I'm happy to go ahead and set you up a private account on my website. And that way, anything you look at, favorite, like is only coming to me. So you don't run the risk of other agents starting to blow up your phone, which is what's going to happen if you go where? Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, any of those places. So in this sense, you're doing them a favor, right? This is my private connection to you. so that you don't have to worry about other people trying to contact you. And that makes people feel special, right? So if they're like, yes, please do that, and you're like, great, I need to just get your email address. I've already got your phone number, or vice versa, right? I've got your email, but I need your phone number. You want their email address and their phone number in this conversation. And then when you get a sec, you're going to go to your own website. So you're going to go to your monicaperry.kw.com. So it's going to be nataliefry.kw.com or graceclifford.kw.com. You're going to go there. You're going to click sign up. You're going to put in your friend's first and last name, their email address, and you're going to make the password their cell phone number for ease of use, because we want to make it easy for people to be able to log in. Of course, you're doing this with their permission. Don't just go setting people up on your website without asking them, right? But super easy. Email address, use their cell phone number as the password, accept the terms, and click sign up. Shoot them a text and say, hey, I got you set up on my website now. To log in, go to here, or here's the link to download my app. And then when you log in, you're going to use your email address and the password is your cell phone number. Feel free to change that password once you're inside of your account.
And can you remind us where we find the link to send them the app, please?
Absolutely can. So you have a couple of places. So now I'm going to have to switch back. Y'all bear with me. I'm going to try to share my screen this way again because it's so much easier than having to stop. Oh, yay. Okay. It's so much easier than having to stop. Okay. So in your command app, okay. So there are a few places where you can get your link. In your command app right here, I'm going to open it up. You can go to that contact because you would have added that contact. If they weren't in command, you would have added them on the go from your app, right? And so then I'm going to look up a test contact. No, there's no phone number for them. Here we go. So in this contact card, Grace, you can hit these three dots and click share my app link. Boom. Right.
Awesome. And you said that we need to add them to the contacts in the app first to be able to share it with them, or does it automatically sync with our contacts in our phone?
No, it does not.
Okay.
But oh, hold on, Scott's coming in the waiting room. But one cool thing though is say you didn't have that person that you met at the grocery store or haven't seen in a long time and you saw them at the grocery store. Say you didn't have them in your phone contacts. So you add them to command first, right?
Okay.
To command app, and look right there. Would you like to add this text to their timeline? Yes, I would. But the cool thing is now if they weren't in my phone contacts, I can hit those three dots again that we were looking at, and I can save that contact straight to my phone.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then plus, if you are using the API integrations, I haven't been teaching on that publicly yet. I'm happy to show anybody in a one-on-one because it's so new that I can always promise everything's going to go off without a hitch. So I just don't teach it in a group environment. But if you do want to know more about it, you can set up API integrations for now between Google Contacts in Command, iPhone Contacts in Command, Dotloop. We've got some new releases coming out this week that I'm super excited about. They're supposed to come out Friday, but I'm not making any promises, so I'm not going to say what they are right now. But I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a really great feature. It's just so new that I don't like to teach it in a group setting yet. Okay, so super cool there. So we got the notification that somebody logged in, and we've talked about how we can put it in someone else's hands. You can also go on Facebook to your business page and say, hey, check out my website, agentfirstnamelastname.kw.com, to search for homes. Make sure that you create an account if you want to be connected directly with me right? You can come up with a script to post this out on social media. And not only that, but there are tons of designs that show our sites, which are really great as well, that you can put with that social media post. And we can look at that type of a post tomorrow when we are hanging out in campaigns and designs. But just something to think about and prepare for tomorrow. A lot of what we're doing today is going to transfer into tomorrow. So that's why they're done in this order. That being one of them. Sharing your website, sharing your mobile app on social media, and then getting a graphic out of designs to do it, and then doing it through campaigns and Command. So like we talked about Monday, Command is a big platform, but it's like that for a reason, because where I used to have 20 different third-party solutions, you know, my website's over here, my direct mail's over here, my social media posting was done through here, my CRM was in Top Producer, my website was done through Z57. Nothing connected, right? It was just like you had to put something in like 7 different times instead of it just being in one system. That's why this system is so big, right? And the whole purpose of this week is to show you guys kind of everything it does and how it can all work together. With the understanding, Grace has been in boot camp before, I know. You don't have to use all this stuff, right? We talked about this. Adding your contacts and facilitating your transactions are the only thing that you have to do in Command, because this is where we as a leadership team check and have your back on making sure your paperwork's right and get you paid by your wonderful MCAs. So those are the things you have to do in here. All of this other stuff is the fun stuff. So I'm excited that I get to share it with all of you guys, and I hope that you love it as much as I do. So any questions on what we've looked at so far? We've looked at what the websites look like, an idea for sharing it on social media when you don't have an account set up for the person. I'm trying to go over everything because I know Scott's been in here all week and he didn't get to get in here on time today. And we also discussed the most important thing about these websites is putting it in your consumer's hand, making it easy. Therefore, that means asking their permission to set them up an account so that they don't have to do it themselves, right? And then saying, here's the link to download my app. Here is my website. Your login is your email and your cell phone number is the password. Feel free to change it once you're into your account. So questions on any of that so far? Everybody feeling good? Awesome. So one place to share it, open the contact, click the dots, share your app link. Second place to find it. When you're in Command, we're now going to move into kind of looking at the back end of our website and app. This is the forward-facing piece, the actual website, where we control what's on this website, like these pages that look like this, right? I am an agent, but I don't really sell anymore. But I do let people know that I can still help them if they do want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, or if they want to start a career in real estate. So I've got that page there. I've got a place for people to leave me a review. I've got my actual reviews. I think I took it down. There it is. I took it down last week and I renamed it.
Go over how to do that, because I copied a review to put on there and it's not there anymore. So I must have done something wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is in Command where we control all this stuff on the back end. So the very last applet on the left, doesn't mean that it's not the best one or a good one, is consumer. Consumer means it's consumer facing, your agent website, your mobile app, landing pages that you can build, right? All that kind of fun stuff. So this is where you can add pages, delete pages, edit pages, and do several other things in this back end. The first thing I'm going to show you is the other place to find your mobile app code. Okay. So you can see what your website is right here on this. As soon as you log in or as soon as you click consumer, your website shows up right here. A lot of people do ask me, I want my website to say Monica Perry, the best agent in Winston-Salem.com. Cool. Go to GoDaddy or some other place, buy what you want, and you can forward that to this website. So if you want a vanity URL, you can purchase one and you can forward it to go to this site so that you can use that for your marketing and branding. Okay. We're going to click on site and app settings real quick. In site and app settings, you have this button that says URLs. This, Grace, is another place where you can find your app code. So it's this right here. Okay. So I do recommend that whichever way you go get your app code, that you get it and you save it to your phone, put it in your email signature, share it on your social media platforms, right? So if I go into my email and I compose an email message, boop. Come on. You will see in my signature, it says to download my home search app, click here. If they click there, it is linked to that code. So that's just one way. You could also just like the way I did this, you could just say to download my app, click here and have the code. I just hyperlinked it over that image. Everybody good? Questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I cannot see the chat. Okay, nothing in the chat. Good, good, good. Cool, cool, cool. So let's look over the rest of this stuff in here. I'm just going to click on consumer so we can go back to the home page and take a look around. And I know y'all, this is a lot. I get it. Don't forget, I'm here, right? I'm here to help you. That's what I'm here for. So if you're like, I can't do this on my own, I need your help, schedule a one-on-one and just let me know that you want to work on your agent site and we can get together for 30 minutes because that's usually the maximum amount that a brain can take to do stuff. So schedule 30 minutes. We'll work on a piece of it and then we can schedule again and we can get it to where you really love it. And maybe by the time we've had 1 or 2 meetings, you'll feel comfortable going in here and playing by yourself. Right?
Monica, the one-to-one, I know, can we schedule it week after next? Because I know you, or next week.
So if you go to my website, you're in my Greensboro Market Center, Diane? Or
no, I'm in Chapel Hill.
Y'all's is kwtriangle.com. No, kwtriangletech.com. Sorry, it's new. It doesn't roll off of my tongue like my other one does. kwtriangletech.com. And there it is. So this has got my calendar of what's coming up. It's got a spotlight video. It's got resources for you guys. And then all of my stuff is down here at the bottom. Let me move my Zoom bar. So my tech training calendar and scheduling one-on-one trainings. And so if I'm not going to be here, I block it. So like if you try to click a Zoom call right here, you're going to see that skips into next week on Wednesday, which is when I'll be back. Somebody's already scheduled because there's only one.
Yeah.
There's only one there. But let's talk about these one-on-ones. These one-on-ones are not necessarily for tech support. These are because you want to learn something specific.
Right.
If you're having an issue, text me. That is by far and away the best way to get in touch with me, because if I'm in Zoom, I can't answer your phone call because I'm But as soon as I get off, the first thing I do is I go into my phone, I check my messages to see if somebody needs help with something or whatever.
Okay.
So if you guys are ever like stuck or you can't get DocuSign to work or something like that, just shoot me a text and I'll be sure to help you as soon as possible. These are more learning opportunities.
Absolutely. That's what I want.
Make a postcard, right? Or something like that.
Right.
Make sense? Pretty good?
Yes.
And for my Greensboro and Winston-Salem Market Centers, you guys' website looks very similar. It is just KW Triad Tech instead of triangle tech.com. So very, very similar. I just changed out the counties and stuff like that.
Okay.
So whichever market center you're in, you have, well, Greensboro and Winston, y'all have one site because we share most of the same resources.
Mhm.
Good?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So when we first come into the consumer applet, okay, we default to being on our agent site pages tab right here. So this is showing you like what website pages, that's these in the drop down, which ones are live, they are teal, which ones are not live, right? It is not active because it's grayed out. So this is where you can manage those pages, okay? Landing pages. These are standalone pages that you can build for whatever your little heart desires. So this one, for example, I showed everybody in a boot camp one month how to make a digital sign-in sheet for an open house that the contacts will go directly to command and you'll have them there. So you have to go back and add them later. So that's what this was, right? And they the listing. They can look through the pictures. You're like, if you wouldn't mind, take a second to sign in. You hand them your tablet, right? Or you can ask them to do it on their own phone, COVID, right? So whatever, I'm going to text you the link to, which is also a good way because you get their phone number that way. And if you wouldn't mind, please logging in. Once you've logged in, you have access to pictures of the listing, all of the details, what's happening in the area, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So that's what I showed them how to build, but you can build lots of different things with these standalone landing pages. This is just one example, okay? And that's the landing pages tab. Guide Builder, unfortunately, is currently down. So what the Guide Builder is when you're on your website, let me log in. For anybody who hasn't been here for the whole week, I'm going to log in as Dakota. I know Grace knows who Dakota is because I'm pretty sure that he went off barking one day in one of our classes. Dakota is my very large Yorkie Chihuahua mix. He is a 17-pound Yorkie, essentially.
Chihuahua and a Yorkie, huh?
He's called a Chorkie. And he's always asleep right here while I'm teaching you guys.
Oh my
So
gosh,
he's
I want
not
to see him.
at people outside, which he does sometimes. But he and his big sister, Sasha, who does not hang out with me in here, she sleeps in the sunroom during the day. She is a husky something mix. She's got 2 different color eyes. They both have Gmail accounts and they both sell a whole lot of real estate because they're my test. So we're logged in right now as Dakota, right? And Dakota can use this guide to say, okay, I'm buying a house. So the first thing I need to do is get pre-approved. Then I need to start searching for my home. And this is the steps in searching for my home. Because what a lot of agents are mistaken about is that they think their people, and I was guilty, want access to them 24 hours a day, which is not healthy for you. Those are not healthy boundaries for us as real estate agents. I was totally guilty of it. Granted, we were in a much different market, and I used to handle short sales a lot, and we didn't have like as much e-signing and stuff like that. But I would have people come to my house at 11 o'clock, and I would go outside into the driveway and sign paperwork with them on the hood of my car to get an offer turned in. That is not a healthy boundary to have. What people really want is access to the answers. And if you're the person with the answers, then you're their only access. So this guide is a way for them to have answers already, right? And the guide's already set up, but it's not state specific, right? It was set up for the whole country. It's not state specific. It's not specific to you. So one of the things that when these are not being developed and worked on, so you can't edit them right now. I used to teach a class on how to edit these. I know it's going to come back soon, but don't forget answers.kw.com has guides on how to do everything. So when it is working, you have the steps on how you can do it. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew what the guides were. So this is looking at it from the eyes of the consumer on the web. It's also on the app, which we're going to move into here in a few minutes. But see, I've North Carolinaed this out. So I've given, due diligence period is not a thing in every state. So I've gone ahead and added some stuff like that. And I have a sheet for you guys to be able to just copy and paste all this stuff. So when the guides come back to being editable, I will again hold that class and I'll give you guys that sheet and you can copy and paste what you want to. It's easier to edit that data in Google Docs than it is in this itself. It's easier to just copy and paste. But like, for instance, the first step of the guide used to be Keller Mortgage, right? Which is cool. I love Keller Mortgage. They saved me a boatload of money. But I have local vendors that I work with, right? And I want to give them a chance too. So I added a step to my guide that said, first thing you need to do is get pre-approved, right? Here are some of my local lenders, or you can click to the next step and look at great savings that you can get with Keller Mortgage, which is exclusive to clients of Keller Williams agents. Then they get to go to that Keller Mortgage step. Then they're going to start their home search. Then they're going to go look at homes. Then they're going to make an offer. Then they're going to execute a contract and go into due diligence. So this gives them that
blueprint.
Right. It gives them that path, which that's what they want to know. What happens next? And so this is one less way for them to have to ask you for it because you gave it to them already.
Right. I like this.
Yeah, it's really nice. So once that customization comes back alive, it's handled here under the guide builder, and I will make sure that I do a class on that too. I don't know if you guys have collections yet. So we're not going to deep dive into collections yet today, but that's pretty much what these three different tabs are at the top when you're in the back end of your website. Okay. And then we're going to move now into site and app settings right here. Okay. If you go to your website and instead of looking like, instead of looking like my website, which is branded to me, right? So if you're on my website, you see my Winston-Salem, because that's where my license is, my Winston-Salem offices logo, my fake team logo, the pictures that I've uploaded, the listings that I have highlighted, my data, right? My data at the bottom. So will I be able to add a video instead of just text? No, you cannot. As of yet, Scott, no. I mean, I guess, well, no, they're not even clickable. I was going to say maybe you could add like a link to it, but no, not yet. But we can definitely put that out as an idea. I'm not sure what they're adding to it, but it has been down for quite a while, so they must be updating something in that. But if you're not seeing your stuff branded to you here, there's a reason, and that's this button right here. So if this button is turned off, you are not going to see yourself. It's going to look like a generic KW site, which, by the way, got an update that I'm going to be sharing in your team meeting tomorrow, Diane. Because it's the first team meeting I've had since I think it comes out this week. But they said that we are allowed to go ahead and share it. What used to happen on this generic KW site, so if you see this, that button's turned off, number one, right? But what used to happen is if you went to a listing that was in your office, that was your listing, it just showed that it was your office. And if somebody clicked on it, it went to the MCA's account so that they could distribute the lead. What is now going to happen, and let me see if it's active. Let me think, Triad MLS. Let me find something active in my office. So that I can see what this looks like. Let's see if it came alive yet. Let's find something good. Let's go in that honey hole. Jonesville, Walnut, Holly Avenue. Ooh, these are cool. We're going to look at 614 West First. 614 West First Street. 614 West First Street. Winston, Salem. I think First Street is spelled out in our city.
Yep.
There it is.
Mhm.
All right, so I know this is listed by somebody in my office. Yes, it came alive. Yay! So it is now back to my listing, my lead, like it has always been with KW. They have been working on this. So now you can see the lovely Abby. Thank you, Abby, for letting me use your listing on this video, is showing up as the listing agent. So if the general public is on kw.com and they click on your listing, it is now going to show you as the listing agent, which makes me so excited. And they will be able to click the contact agent button and directly contact you. That makes me super happy that it got released. And I'll be able to show this tomorrow in team meeting. And then I'll continue to show it to other places. So awesome.
So, Monica, how would that work if, let's say, an agent doesn't have a listing, but would it still show the office listings on that?
Yeah, people see any listing. It doesn't just have to be your office. It can be any listing, and we're not bound by MLS, right? Which is really cool because we used to be bound by MLS. So example, you're in Chapel Hill. If I wanted to share a Chapel Hill listing with one of my people here in Winston because they were going to move there, I usually would have to contact somebody if I didn't want it to be on a website like Zillow.
Okay.
Right. And I don't want to use Zillow as an agent personally. I just don't. But like in my MLS, I couldn't get to your listings because I'm not in your MLS. Right. But now you have that ability to go in and see stuff. And they're doing huge upgrades into the listing system that's built into Command. So I'm super excited about that. We're doing a lot.
Monica, was Command always branded? I noticed because I've been when it rolled out, I don't think the development, the training, so I think a lot of people don't really gravitate to it because it's too many clicks to get to where you need to get to, and I'm not really tech savvy at all. But was this always branded? I noticed you said now make sure that button is turned on and then everything will be branded. Was it always so, or is that an upgrade?
No, that's been that way for, since the website portion rolled out.
Okay.
Yep, it's been that way. We've gotten a little bit more customization as we've moved on. To our websites that we had when they first came out. You really couldn't edit a whole lot about them at first. So we've gotten a little bit more of that, but they were always branded to you as the agent.
Okay.
Yeah. Good questions. Keep them coming. Okay, cool deal. I'm excited I got to show you guys something new because that's always fun. Somebody with the name Goggle just turned on. So I think it thought I said, hey, person. I didn't want it to start talking. I always feel like those things are listening to us, but they're so nice.
Yeah, they are.
I just keep them around anyway. Okay. So again, we are in consumer on the left-hand side. We are under site and app settings currently. We are on the general tab. We want to make sure this button is green, so it's branded to us. We can change what this says because this is not what it said when it came originally. This is just a tagline that I made up so that I could show you guys how to change it. So I changed that on that home screen to say this. Let me close some of these windows out so that we don't unnecessarily bog down our internet again. There we go. So I changed that out, and I also changed out these pictures from the stock images. And this is where you can do that. Okay. So you can upload up to 5 pictures. As we looked at Greta Fry's team page, they just uploaded their team photo. They took all the other photos away. because they just want their team to show on that home screen, right? You will see that mine scrolls. So when you're on my home screen, it actually scrolls through different pictures of Winston-Salem in the background. So you can really choose what you want. The stock images are lovely. There's nothing wrong with them. I just happened to have these photos. They do have to be super high resolution at 1200 by 1200 pixels. And so if you wanted to replace one, you would just hit the trash can and then upload the photo you want to replace it with. So any question on changing out the background images on your home screen? Pretty good.
Monica, could you look at mine and see? I think I changed mine out. I'm really weird. Hopefully you could find mine.
Is it just your name?
I think so.
Let's see. No, that's not it. Hold on. Let me. Is this how your name is spelled?
Deanne and then space Thompson. It's in the system as Thompson.
There you are.
Yep. That's
all right. So let me see if it, okay, so that just connects me to you, but it's not, there it is. Nope, that's your email. So it's not taking me to your website, honey. You might not have it cut on.
Yeah.
Let me see, Diane Thompson. Did I spell that right? .kw. Because I'm pretty sure, let me look myself up on the.
Try, because it automatically populate, right? Deanne Thompson -Melvin.com. See if that's how they have it in there.
Yeah, see, because my website's showing up right here. And yours did not show up.
Okay, so why would that? Is it because I didn't do something? I didn't turn something on?
Were you an agent before Command came out?
It was, but like I said, the way everything rolled out.
Yeah, so that's probably the problem, Diane. When these websites rolled out and Playster got shut down, I was already with Keller Williams, and I was actually technically the director of agent services at the time, and that's when kind of my passion for the technology happened. So I went on a mission I was only in Winston-Salem at the time. And I went to every single agent and I said, if you do not pay for your own website, if you're using Playster, which is what we used to use, we have got to set up your new website. So that is probably why, and that is something that you and I can look at together and make sure that we get you set up correctly.
Okay, sounds good to me. All righty.
Yeah, that's the only time, because Scott Leroy sets it up now. If an agent joins, he already sets it up for them.
Okay.
But we'll definitely take a look at that.
Okay.
All right, so we can change out these background images. We have a download my app landing page, okay? And you can also change out the text on that page. You can also add virtual tours for your listings. These preferences is where you can turn off those. If you don't want to use Keller Mortgage, you can turn it off. If you don't want to show Keller Covered on your website, you can turn it off. And if you don't want to display those neighborhood boundaries in the blue, you can turn those off here under preferences. So any questions about this page? We're again in consumer under site and app settings on our first tab, which is general. Everybody feeling good?
Virtual tour, where do you go? You don't have to go in a lot of detail, but where do you go to look to find the link for that?
You would have paid your photographer for the virtual tour, Sally, and they would have given you a link. Right. Or if they just sent you the video, if it's one of those like 3D tours, it's got a link. If they just sent you like maybe a drone video or something, you can put it on Google and share it via a link so that it will show up. And I can show you how to do that.
Not necessary now, but yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I know you have a big listing coming up. So if that's something that you get, I can absolutely show you how to do that. No problem. Okay, so any more questions on the general tab? Good. Next one's very simple. It's your URLs. This is your website. This is your mobile app download. So since we're here, I'm going to head over to the mobile app download page and show you guys a cool video that your consumers will see if they go to your download my app link page. So we'll let this load up. And my internet's just killing me. It's killing me today. It's a good thing I'm going to Florida and getting a break from this computer screen. I feel like I might grow into it if I don't.
You're gonna have a great time.
Oh, I'm excited. It's been so long. As you know, Sally, Candy and I have told the story. The first thing I actually went to was Mega Camp. And I was like, one day I'm going to be up on that stage. And technically this past Mega Camp, I was up on the stage. It was virtual. So it was a dream realized. It just had to be in a virtual way instead of in person. So I'm super excited to go back. So this is our download my app page. You can see that my face is right here. They can download it on Apple or Google. Sign up to have Monica help you with their real estate needs. That will connect them to your consumer site. And here is that wonderful video that I'm going to show you guys.
Nice.
So pretty sweet. That's what that download my app page looks like, which I love because they get to check that out. So that's pretty much all that's under the URLs tab. Is there any questions about this?
It's a great video.
I love it. I love they do really good with our videos, and I'm sure we're about to get more for family reunion. So again, make sure that you take this app code and copy it, put it on your notepad, put it on your phone, put it in your text message signature if you use those, wherever. Just make sure that you have access to it. Next up is featured listings. So when we were on my website on the home screen, down at the bottom is where those featured listings show up. And this is where, like, I need to take this one down because it's pending. This one already closed, right? So I need to take those down. That one's pending. So I will go ahead and trash some of these. And I think it was, which one was pending? 1.295. I would like to have that pending. How about y'all? All right, so I can save those changes. So I'm going to go back to, dang it, I should have saved that address for Abby's listing. Was it 116 West First Street? Let me see. So
What's this one for first?
614 First Street.
Mhm.
So when you want to add listings, granted, if you don't have listings, this is a time where you can borrow someone else's. I know for a fact in the Winston-Salem office, I haven't gotten to introduce myself to everybody in Chapel Hill yet. I have in Greensboro. There are people that are perfectly fine with you promoting their listings because they want to get them sold, right? Not that people are having a hard time getting listings sold right now, but there are a few. So, you know, it gives them publicity, it gives their listing publicity. It's a win-win, which is part of our culture. So just ask, right? Don't just like go through your MLS and pull people's listings. I have permission to do that from the agents. So, but if you want to, you know, promote their listing on your website, just make sure that you ask them. So again, I always recommend that you have some target markets in the area where you wish to work. If you don't have any listings right now, but you see that Sally has a listing in the area you want, just send Sally a text and be like, hey, I just wanted to know if it was okay for me to feature your listing on my website. And more than likely, Sally's going to be like, heck yeah, get that sucker sold, right? So then you can click select listings. Right now, you see this toggle, it says show, and right now it's only my listings. I don't have listings, so I need to change this to all. Okay. And then I can search by the MLS number, the city, the zip code, whatever I want, and see what pops up. And then I can pick one to show. So like I can just like search by the city. Like so. You can see who the agents are and all that kind of fun stuff. And you can pick a listing out. Okay. Sorry, I thought I had shut Slack. I don't know why it's still populating those little bubbles. But that is how you add listings to here. Okay, so if I save those changes and then I refresh this page, boop, now I've only got the two that are not pending or sold. Right, so that is how that works. And this is where you do it. Again, we are in consumer site and app settings. Currently, we are under the featured listings tab, and that's all that's in here, except for the fact that you can change the header, right? What does it say up here? So it can be Monica's featured listings or Sally's featured listings, right? So the next tab is theme. Real simple. You like red, you like black. Pick. So that's the only difference on this is a couple of places where the logos and stuff pop up. Do you want them to show up in red or do you want them to show up in black? Okay. Questions here. Good. And last but certainly not least is agent site pages, which I keep asking them to rename because we already have a tab up here called agent site pages, but just differentiate between the two. This is where you default when you come into consumer. This is showing your current agent site pages that are live or any that you have built and kept that are not live, like this one, for example, that is grayed out. If you go into site and app settings and go to the agent site pages tab, this is where you can delete pages, add pages, whatever. So if we're on my website, last month I showed how to add a third-party website to our own. And we're going to move into that in just a sec. We're going to let this load. It's being very slow today, but hopefully it will work with us. I was thinking about it. If it doesn't, nonetheless, you see it showing up right here, featured restaurant. This is where I can go and click on featured restaurant. I get this little meatball menu. That is technically what these are called, the three little dots, and I can delete that page, click to confirm. If I come back here to my agent website, that page is gone, right? It no longer exists on my website. So that's where you can add pages. So there you go. It's gone. It was down here at the bottom. Okay. Okay. Any questions on the navigation of the back end? Go in here, look around, play around. Okay. You're not going to break anything clicking through and looking at stuff in here. All right. Cool deal. You guys need a break, or are you feeling good? You want to keep going?
Keep going.
Cool.
I do anyway.
All right. So let's look at how to create a page. Grace had asked about the testimonials page, so we'll look at that. So when you first get into consumer, I'm going to go back out so you guys can see it from the beginning. You default right here. And in the upper right corner, there's a button that says create a new page. Okay. So we're going to click it. Are you creating a new page to put on your agent website, or are you creating a standalone web page? This is where you make that distinction. Okay. So we're going to click on my agent website and create page. Now, we always want to rename our site. So I'm going to say Bootcamp February testimonials, so I don't forget what it was. We always want to name our page in the upper left corner. And then we're going to take a look at these widgets. So these are the widgets that are available for you to use on your agent website. Okay. You cannot build any page without one widget. You have to have a widget on the page. Okay. So the first one, if you're on a team, you can drop it over. And I did it wrong because I'm clicking on stuff bad today, apparently. Grab it, drop it. So this would fill in your team members. Okay. This would populate your team members. So if you're on a team, you can add that widget. You also have the agent profile widget, which looks like this. It's got your bio, it's got your contact info, it's got your picture. So you could add that. You could add a contact form, which looks like this. You could add a testimonials carousel. My testimonials are in a list view. They're listed. The carousel would only have one testimonial in the center of the screen, and it would scroll through all of your testimonials. Okay, so that's the difference.
When I tried to do that, it stayed gray and it said it did not configure properly. And I've tried a couple more times and even tried to like open my website, seeing if maybe it did work, but it's still that gray. Kind of like how you're
when you first drop it over, this is your first step, and I'm going to go ahead and follow through with this one so you can see it. Right now, it does say the widget's not configured, because your next step is going to be to click this button that says configure widgets.
Yes. And then I hit save and apply, but it still did that. But I might have done something else wrong.
So let's see. Test to 16. Is the 16th right? Yes. Testing. Obviously, you wouldn't write testing. You would write something fabulous, because I know you guys are all marketing geniuses. And then you have to have at least one testimonial. So you have to build the capture form first. I'm just trying to show you guys how this works. Let me just get rid of everything on here. I just want one. And then I'm going to click save and apply.
I think that's maybe what I did, is that I didn't have testimonials to click from because I hadn't added.
Yeah. You have to build the testimonials page first.
Okay.
Okay.
So like the review us page, I would just copy and paste something in there.
Yeah, we'll look at that first. So we're going to go here. We are going to do the testimonials capture form, which looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
Configure widget, click it, fill all your stuff in. I'm not going to take the time to do it. You would save and apply. And watch what happens if I save this. It's going to take me to the second agent site pages place, which is under site and app settings. It's going to take me back here because now I need to add that page to my website. This is it. Click continue, follow through with the rest of the steps. And then you will end up with one that looks like this, Grace. And testimonial that you were left, you can just fill this stuff in.
Okay.
And then when you go to build the one that actually shows the testimonials, it will show up. You can select it. It will show as your testimonial on the page once you add it.
Gotcha.
If
Thank you
need
so
help with
much.
that, just please feel free to ask.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, love. Okay, cool deal. So let me see what else. That's the testimonials, testimonial capture. Last one is download my app. If your website was set up by Scott Leroy Marketing, you already have a page like this. If you were an existing agent, Scott must have gotten kicked out. If you were an existing agent and haven't built this website, you probably don't have this page yet, so you can build this page. But those are the widgets that you can add on your agent website pages. The way that I do these other pages, like the Keller Williams School of Real Estate, and apparently it's going to take forever to load, so we'll just let it do its thing. This is where I've added a third party page. This is a little bit higher level. It's not that bad, but do you guys want to see how I add a third party page, or would you rather just see that in a one-on-one? Because I don't want to waste time.
I think I'd maybe prefer it in a one-on-one.
That's just fine. All right. So anyway, there is the ability to add a third party page. You use the content blocks to do that. And if you guys ever want to know how to do that, feel free to reach out to me and I will show you, because it is a little much to take when you've looked at all the other stuff.
I got a quick question on the standalone, the choice between just a standalone land page. Do people do that maybe to set up just for people to go look at one house? And
yeah, absolutely. And that's where we're heading next, is right here to the landing pages. So exactly, Sally. A lot of people use it to just highlight a listing, right? Just one specific listing like this. Then you can take this website and share it on social media so that they can just see stuff about the house. Another example, very similar example, is where I made that digital sign-in sheet. So all I did was reverse where this sign-in, the contact form was, and I changed the verbiage to say, please sign in, so that you could use it at a open house. And then the person can fill it out at the open house and it will go directly into your contacts on command. And if you have like your open house follow-up smart plan turned on, you could add them directly to that smart plan from the mobile app, which is cool. So you can really use it to build what you want, but we're going to go through and look at what the widgets are that are available there. So we're going to create a new page in the upper right corner, and this time we're going to pick landing page. We're going to click create page. So on here we have a few different widgets than we do on the other one. We have the agent branding widget, which looks like this. We have the branded header, which is my personal favorite. I like the way that looks up there. We have a lead form, which you just saw. We have the legal footer, always good to put at the bottom. We have the listing widget. So this is what you can tie to one specific listing, and they get all of this data about the listing from this widget. We have a market snapshot widget. So if you want to use this, you can either search by neighborhood or you can search by zip code. Okay. So you can build this out. This one's just showing Austin, Texas, which is where we're based, so that you can see what it looks like. Okay. You have this one called Your Local Expert, which I think is really cute. I like the color palette on this. So if you wanted to pop in a blurb about you, you could. You have the ability to put a video. Scott was asking about videos. You can put a video on one of these landing pages. So that is a possibility.
And just the same thing, it goes and looks at the two places you mentioned. It would be either on a page that already exists, or what was the other one?
So for the landing pages, they are not attached to your website at all. For the
How do you,
pages, there's not a video. You can't add video to your website yet.
yeah, I know that, but on
Okay.
on the landing page, where,
Where would you pull the video from?
how do you get the integration between, how do you,
Upload the video from your computer, or if you have the video on like YouTube, you can take the link from YouTube and do it that way.
thanks.
You're welcome. You can also build a standalone page for your testimonials capture. So if you just wanted a standalone page that you could like shoot over to somebody's text to give you a testimonial, you can put one of those together. And again, you have the download my app. So this is a good one just to stick at the bottom of something for the ability for somebody to download your app. So let's look at building out a completed page. So let's do test listing landing page. And let's highlight somebody else's listing here. Well, first off, does anybody have a listing that they want me to show while doing this? First question. If so, put it in the chat. If
Mine's
not,
pending, but otherwise, I don't know if you could do a pending one. Or does it have to be
I
active?
probably can, Grace.
Okay,
So-
well, yeah, the address is 1200 Heathrow Drive.
1200 Heathrow Drive. I'm going to look it up. That's in Greensboro.
Yes,
What's the zip, honey?
27410.
Oh, it's that one that we've been talking about because mine's 27104. And
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Stop my fingers from typing 27104, even when I intend to. Okay. So let's say that Grace wants to build a landing page for her listing, even though it's pending now. We're going to pretend that it's not. Okay. So the listing widget, when you saw it, it's very long. So what I usually like to do is build these like a sandwich, like a reverse sandwich kind of. So I'm going to take that branded header that I like. I'm going to drop my legal footer at the bottom. Maybe I want to put them all on here. I'm going to do the download my app. I want to do the Your Local Expert. I want to do a market snapshot. See how I'm adding them on top because it makes it easier. And then I'm going to do the listing. And then maybe I am going to use this as an open house sign-in. I'm going to put the lead form at the top. Okay. So now we have the branded header, the lead form, the listing widget, the neighborhood statistics, the stuff about me, the download my app button, and my footer. My next step is to configure the widgets. Okay. So I'm going to click this configure widgets button in the lower right corner. I'm going to give this welcome home. I only have 30 characters. I'm just going to say welcome home. My data looks fine. I'm going to save and apply. And now you're going to see on the right, it's reconfigured itself to say welcome home. So now I'm going to click this next arrow in the upper right corner. And now I'm on this lead form. So instead of saying interested, let's talk, I'm going to say, please sign in. Okay, I'm going to click save and apply. And so again, you're going to see it change in my preview. Now it says, please sign in. Then I'm going to go forward again. And now I'm on my listings. So now I'm going to browse listings. Okay. And I'm going to search for 1200 Heathrow Drive, Greensboro, NC. I'm going to type it right, 27410. That feels foreign. I'm going to click search. Is that it? Right there. There's Grace.
Yes, that's correct.
Perfect.
Yay.
I'm going to hit select. Now I have the option to change whichever front exterior I want. Maybe I want this front door since it says welcome home. Maybe I just want to stick with the original one, right? So whatever you want to do. And then I'm going to click save and apply. And now it's going to look like this. Welcome home. Please sign in. Here's the front of the house. There's the address of the house, the number of bathrooms, bedrooms, when was it built, all the pictures that people can scroll through, all that fun stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that looks good. So now I'm going to make my way to my fourth widget, which has the header. What's this neighborhood called, Grace?
This is the carriage.
It's all right.
I think it's carriage gates or carriage house.
I'm going to do what's happening in, can't type, what's happening in 27, still not right, 410.
There you go.
I'm going to search by the postal code 27410. And now if I want to, I can bear down by neighborhood, right? So if it's one of these that's showing up, then I could pick it, or I can just leave it showing the whole zip code if I want to, because I know this is a popular zip code in Greensboro.
It is,
right?
yeah.
So I can just click save and apply. And so now I've got welcome home. Please sign in. Here's your listing. Scroll, scroll, scroll. What's happening in 27410? 31 listings sold, average sold price, active listings, pending listings, et cetera, et cetera.
That's nice.
And then I can move forward again. And now this is this piece. I don't need to edit anything on here. That looks great. Save and apply. Done. Oh, my bio is too long. So I'll just take that away. Or maybe I decide I don't want this. Then I could just take it off. But nonetheless, I'm just going to take that away so that we can move on. There. All right, save and apply. Maybe. Thinking about it. I don't ever add that one when I'm doing examples. And of course, the one time I do, it's giving me grief. But I'm going to move forward anyway. Download my app looks fine. Save and apply. And last but not least is my legal footer. Save and apply. Good, good, good. I can save the landing page. Are you sure you want to save it as a draft? No, I don't. I want to publish it. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. I think that one widget is giving me grief. Now it doesn't want to let me delete it. Are we going to have a problem here, widget? What's this thing doing? I never added that one before in a classroom. Oh, link to download the app. I don't know why that didn't populate. Weird. Must be at most. Okay. Just wanting to give me grief today. That's okay. Okay, there. It's going to let me do it now. So now my publish page button is live up here. So now I can just click publish page. Yes, I want to. Okay. So there, it defaulted me back to agent site pages, which I've already complained about, but it's really under the landing page. And there it is right here, the one that we just built. I can even come over to the meatball menu here and I can change the URL, only the back end though, to 1200 Heathrow Drive. And I can click create. And now I have this link and I can share it anywhere I want to, right? I could use it to sign in at the open house. I could have moved that contact me form down to the bottom instead of it being at the top. And just highlighted the listing and shared it on Facebook or Instagram or wherever I wanted to share it. But now I have a standalone landing page that I can do with as I wish. Which is
Question on the, what if you want to save it? Was there a place there where you could save it but not publish it, or publish like?
yeah, there is. If you just hit save, Sally, it will ask you if you want to save it as a draft. And so it's right next to the publish button. There's save and then there's publish. And so if you just click save, it'll say, do you want to save this as a draft?
Okay, if you save it as a draft, can you get the URL and share it with somebody?
No, because it's not public. It's not published.
You can't just let one person look at it, the draft at all.
No, not unless they logged into your command account.
I know.
Are you talking about like showing it to the seller? Sally?
Yeah, yes, that was what I meant. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you could just have your computer with it and show it to them. Like you could just log into command and show it to them, but you wouldn't be able to share it with them.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Right? Good?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, of course. Cool. Any more questions about any of this? We're going to move away from this. We're going to start looking at the mobile app, which there's not a whole ton of difference, but we're going to look at it anyway. I meant from the website. So everybody can see my phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. So the consumer facing site is the white background with the red KW. If you have not downloaded this and added yourself as a consumer, please do it. Please do it. Because the cool thing is you can see the interactions between your consumers and yourself when they're connected. So we're going to look at what the app looks like. Then we're going to go into command into our contacts and see what that looks like. Okay. So right now I'm on my app. I'm going to click into my current location. I think I'm logged in as Dakota, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to click the more button. So yes, I'm logged in as Dakota up here. You can see that. I'm the agent, right? So these are his settings. This is where he could go to like change his password. Remember, we said we were going to set up a password. This is where he can add addresses. If he wants to see those commute times to different places, he can add up to 3. Okay. And he can adjust his notifications. These are all the saved searches that he has set up. So he could turn them off, or he could say, now I want this one to be turned on. So this is where he can get to that. And it's important that you guys know this stuff, because if you're going to put it in the hands of your consumer and they text you or call you and ask you a question, it would be great if you knew how to answer their question. So go in here and set yourself up and play around so that you can see what it looks like. Okay. Let me turn on Do Not Disturb also. Boop. Okay. Here we go. So he can also add a co-buyer, and you can see what a co-buyer can do. They can see the agent can update both of the parties. They can share, save searches, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what adding a co-buyer does. He has an affordability calculator, right? So if he wants to see how much he can afford, that's located back here. He can connect to Keller Covered, just like he can on your website. He can connect to Keller Mortgage, just like he can on your website, right? Oh, okay. But that's what all that looks like. So he can also just be at search. So we're at current location currently. Let's look at, he's got the same filters available on the website as he does in the app. Bye, Diane. Have a good day, honey. So all the same filters exist. I just want to be able to show you guys both things. This is essentially your website, just in an app version, right? So if he's looking in his current location, he's looking at homes that are for sale, active, coming soon, new construction, foreclosures, and short sales. If he wanted to, for some reason, look at pending, he could select that. He could also look at rentals. I've gotten this question quite a bit. Yes, you can turn on for rent. You could turn off for sale and turn on for rent, and vice versa. Okay. He can do by price. So this is another place where I've asked for some improvement, because $100,000 is, in my opinion, too big of a jump, especially when you're down in this lower register. So this just got updated. So hopefully they'll be able to add some smaller subcategories into this price range. But nonetheless, I'm going to stick in this area. And property type: houses, apartments, townhomes, condos, co-ops, lots, land, multifamily, and other. So he can filter by that. He can also click the more button, which is where bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, lot size, year built, has parking, different amenities, right? Monica has to have a pool. Like he can turn all that stuff on and off back here. He can look at only open houses, and he can look at houses that the price was reduced in the last 7 days. Okay. So there you go. That is the stuff that he can do. So let's do this price point, because in this area, in this map view, that's going to be kind of what we're going to see. He can zoom out and in. And if you can see it right here, he has the ability to draw. We had the ability to draw and something from our from command, and something broke in it. So they're fixing it, but it should be back out very soon. But he can draw on the map if he just knows he wants to live like right here. He can draw, which is cool. He can save this search, which is cool. He can clear the boundary. So like a lot of people work in this hospital right here. So maybe they want to draw, or these two hospitals, maybe they only want to live like around the hospitals. Then they could search that way, which is pretty neat. And they can click save. They can choose that they want to get notified never, instantly, daily, or weekly. They can choose to get push notifications. And if you don't know what those are, they're the ones that come in from the top of your phone like that. Okay. And they do have vibrations and stuff like that. So he can also see his feed. I think you guys can see feed if I'm not mistaken. I think this is public. This is one of those updates that recently came available, I'm pretty sure. So you can see like he's got several saved searches showing up. So in his feed for Ardmore 3-2, there is a new listing. In 27104 with 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a pool, there is no new update. There is here, there's not there, there is here, 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 right? So this is his feed, which is super cool. So you can track all of his stuff. And here's that guide that we were looking at in the mobile version. He can look at homes that he has previously saved and his saved searches. And then again, he has that more button where he can get back to all of this stuff in the back end. So any questions on what's available in the app? Get in here and play around, y'all. Like, really, it's important to get in there and know what's available to you. So if there's no questions on that, we're going to move back into command so that we can see what it looks like from the perspective.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize that was not muted.
Okay, honey. So we're going to look from the perspective of looking as the agent at our contacts. So one of the things we can do is we can sort right here by recently active. And look at that. Remember, we had that person come in. That's my stepdad, by the way. We had that person come in off of our website because we shared it on Facebook, right, in our example. and they created an account so we can see that they're recently active. So I do recommend daily, if you're really intentional with sharing your website and your mobile app, that you're going in here and seeing who's been active, right? Because that if they're super active and then you click into their contact card and you see that they were in there and maybe they spent like 2 hours and looked at 30 houses, they might be ready to move, right? So you need to get in touch with that person. That's the whole beauty of this one-to-one method. So make sure that you set yourself up as a contact in Command, create yourself an account. See this little green check? That means that that person is connected to your agent website and or your mobile app with an account. So you can see all these test people are connected. When you're filtering in your contacts, you can look at this filter branded to me. Yes, that means they have an account with your website or your mobile app. So my sister-in-law, and these are mostly just fake people. That's our cat. But, you know, crazy enough, I did have somebody from Texas, nonetheless, come in on my agent website once. And then I had some people that were in Kentucky and were moving to North Carolina that somehow made their way to my agent website. And I got to connect both of them and get a referral. So that was pretty sweet. I got to connect them to an agent. So make sure that you guys are checking this out. They can ask for, I'm going to move back into website version. They can ask for, I did get this question. I want to make sure I address this question. I'm going to make sure my volume's turned up still. Okay. So somebody said, if somebody comes in and they ask to see a house, how do I get notified? Okay. Somebody asked me that the other day. So your buyers on here, they're looking and they're like, oh, dang, I love this house. I actually do love this house. I love the front doors at least. It's open this Saturday, but I want to see it before then. So they can actually click schedule a tour. When do you want to go? Maybe I want to go this afternoon or this evening or tomorrow morning. Do I want to do it in person or do I want to do a video walkthrough? Message, I would love to see this house. Right? So they can do that. And when they click schedule tour, it says their request has been submitted. So
Wait a minute.
go ahead.
Two things. Okay, the scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
What is that schedule coordinating with? Showing time?
They are asking you to schedule them to see this property.
You're picking a specific date and time? Or they're
saying when they are available to go see it. I want to go see it, and this is when I can.
Okay. So if you can't do it, then you just converse and find a good time that.
Correct. So if you like went on there and it just wasn't a possibility, you could just say, hey, I know that you wanted to go see this house this afternoon, but there's no showings available. Could we do tomorrow afternoon instead?
Okay. And there's another question, but you're kind of out of the area right now, but
that's okay. I'll go back.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you, but is it possible to sort? Let's say you have a lot of people in there and you've been doing this for a while. Is it possible to sort by the activity that is happening? Like who
on your website?
On when they're actually going in and looking on this app.
So this column right here, Sally, that says recently active, if you click on it,
sorts it. Okay.
It's going to sort it by who's been active.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good question. You're welcome. But nonetheless, you're going to get a notification in the Command app. You're going to get a notification in the Command desktop. Those are the only 2 notifications that you're going to get for this right now. So I cannot stress enough the importance to you. If you're going to use this system, you're going to need to come into this system. If I was selling, if I was not teaching, obviously I'm in here all day. If I was selling right now, I would make it a point that I was in here morning, noon, afternoon, and evening, at least those 4 times a day, just checking to see if I have any messages, checking to see if I have anybody trying to schedule with me, checking to see if I have any requests for a referral connection from an agent outside of my area. So I would just make it a point, right? I talked about time blocking a little bit earlier this week and how important it was to me and how I wish I would have known that it was that important to me before I decided to stop selling real estate and go into teaching technology, because I probably would have been a little bit better to myself when I was selling. I was all over the place. So, you know, when we were in school, we had a bell that told us it was time to go to our next class. This class is now over. You have 5 minutes to get to this one, et cetera, et cetera. We had a bell. This is your bell. Command is your bell. So set a timer, time block, and say every morning when I get my cup of coffee, I'm going to go sit at my computer for 5 minutes and check and make sure I don't have any messages in command. Then I have to go do whatever it is I'm going to do, hopefully lead generating, right? And hopefully when you're lead generating, you're going to be doing it from command, whether it's on your desktop or the command app. Because the more that you track your activities, the more that you take notes on the people that you're speaking with, the better and stronger your relationships will be, the better your quality of life and your work-life balance will be, right? So try to just make it a habit. And then when I stop to eat lunch or when I sit down to eat lunch, I'm going to try to, you know, come in and check and make sure that I've looked at everything. Again in the afternoon, again in the evening before I have family time, right? I can't stress the importance of checking on this enough, because, and this was no fault of this agent's, it's just a fact of life and it happens. They were like, you know, somebody apparently asked us to see this property and I have no idea where that was. And it was just the notification, right? Because she hadn't checked it. So that, I mean, no fault. I mean, just is what it is. So I just like to make sure that I remind you guys to check this stuff. So does anybody have any questions before we end today's session?
I don't think so.
Good. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to have class at 10 again. We're going to go over designs and campaigns in command. At about 11:40-ish, we are going to take a break. You're welcome to jump off the Zoom. You're welcome to not come back for the second part of the class, whatever. It is completely up to you. I will not be offended either way. I will keep the Zoom open, but I'm going to pop into a meeting and make an introduction, and then I'm going to come back and give you guys time to stretch your legs and get a coffee and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to come back and teach Friday's content, which should only take about 45 minutes, if that. We're just going to look at tasks, referrals, reports, and the listings applet, even though there's not a whole lot under the listings applet at the moment. So I can just show you guys what it looks like. Good?
Sounds good.
All right, friends. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for coming. And
Thank you, Monica.
thank you.
Thank you.
talk to
Hey,
all-
Monica, this is Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, quick question. Sorry, I've been on mute for a while. I'm sorry about the unmuting issues too. Quick question. When I make a landing page, it doesn't actually add to the website, correct?
No,
It's just
the
a,
landing pages are completely separate. So when you're in consumer and you go to create a page, that's the distinction. Do you want to create
Okay.
on your agent site or as a standalone page?
okay. And if I wanted to, is there any reason to add maybe the landing page to the website? Would I create a separate, I guess, subpage on my website to do that?
You can't connect the landing pages to your website.
Okay.
They're just not built.
So it's just truly a standalone page. That's
Correct. Correct.
it. Okay.
And just keep in mind, these websites are really first generation, if anything like version 1.5. These have huge updates waiting in the wings, but it's going to be some heavy integration into Command, so they're just not ready to get released yet.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
All right, well, thanks. I created a landing page while we were going through it, so pretty solid.
Good. I'm glad. All right.
Awesome.
Let
Okay,
me
well,
know
thanks
if
for
I
your
can
help
you
today.
guys. You're so welcome. Let me know if I can help you guys with anything else at all.
All right, bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.